Welcome back to Ringside Ramble. It's Niall here, bringing you all the latest news, views, and breakdowns from around the world of professional boxing. In this video, I'm going to be giving my quick breakdown and prediction for this Saturday night's main event at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, as the phenomenal Jaron Ennis defends his IBF World Welterweight title against mandatory challenger Karen Chukhadzhian. Yeah, homecoming for Boots, but I have to say, this is the most pointless rematch in the history of boxing, to be quite honest with you. It really is. Get straight to the point and kind of and say it. It's an absolutely dreadful fight. That this is the fact this is taking place is horrendous. You know, as all boxing fans know, Boots already beat Chukhadzhian, and it wasn't remotely close. You know, it wasn't close at all. He won a wide unanimous decision. Chukhadzhian didn't win a round on any of the judges' scorecards. And yeah, here they are having to fight again, because credit to Chukhadzhian, he's put a good run together. He really has. But you know, to get himself back into a mandatory position to challenge Boots. But the fact that the first fight was so one-sided and this fight is happening again is absolutely disgraceful. It really is disgraceful. Credit to Chukhadzhian, as I say, rebounded well from that loss. He's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong, he is a really good fighter. You know, he's very well skilled, kind of that typical Eastern European, technically solid style. But there's no shame in losing to Boots the way he did. Most people would lose to Boots that way. You know, Boots is an absolute pound for pound phenomenal talent. You know, future pound for pound number one possibly. So there's no shame in that. However, it shouldn't be happening again. It's the most pointless rematch in the history of the sport for me. And yeah, it's such a shame. As I mentioned, Boots is such a talent. But the fact that he has to take this fight, we know what the IBF are like with ordering strange mandatories. You know, really strange mandatories. The likes we've seen recently with Michael Eifert for Artur Beterbiev has been ordered. Michael Eifert, who's done nothing, you know, nothing to warrant a mandatory shot at the world title. We've got Joy Apataya, who's been ordered to face another very underwhelming opponent, and now a rematch between Boots and Chukhadzhian. You know, whoever's fault it was that kind of unifications didn't go through, I don't know. You know, there's options of unifications for Boots with the other champions at 147, the likes of Stanionis. Yeah, I'm at the Stanionis, Brian Norman Jr., Mario Barrios. Boots beats them all. He really does beat them all and become undisputed welterweight champion. Whose fault that those fights haven't materialized yet? Whose fault it is, I don't know, but they need to happen next. They need to happen after Jaron Boots Ennis beats Karen Chukhadzhian, which he will. He'll beat Chukhadzhian wide again, probably, maybe get a stoppage this time. And it needs to be unifications next. You know, the welterweight division is a bit all over the place at the minute, to be honest. It's not the glamour division it used to be with the likes of Spence, Crawford, Floyd, you know, those type of names. But Boots Ennis needs to either make those unification fights happen next or move up to junior middleweight. You know, there was a lot of talk of him moving up to 154. And I think this fight with Karen Chukhadzhian solidifies the fact that he does need to move up, especially if he can't get the unifications. You know, he is a big welterweight as well. You know, he kind of does train himself to make 147. So junior middleweight, a lot of people think that's where we'll see Jaron Ennis at his best. And of course, there's a lot of dream fights there for Ennis. You know, Fondora, teams, background Zalia, I should say. Credit beat Tim Zoo there a couple of weeks ago. You know, Terence Crawford, Israel Madrimov, those type of names that are waiting for him at 154. But if his aim is to unify 147 and go undisputed there, it needs to happen sooner rather than later, hopefully, because there's no point in sticking around if these are the type of fights that we're going to be getting while he's waiting on title fights. He's such a talent that he can't afford to waste any more time. You know, he can't waste any more time chasing fights that won't happen. So make things happen, move up, get chased the Terence Crawford fights. You know, that's one of the biggest fights in boxing. But yeah, this Karen Chukhadzhian fight is an absolute disgrace, to be honest with you. It's such a weird feeling. Like, as I mentioned, Boots Ennis is one of the greatest fighters in the world. Talent wise, he's phenomenal. And I just can't get motivated for this at all. Um, every time I see his face in Karen Chukhadzhian, it just reminds me how bizarre it is. You know, it's crazy that they have to fight again. But yeah, in terms of the fight, there's not much to say at all because we've seen it, as I mentioned, we've seen it. Chukhadzhian didn't win a round on any of the judges' scorecards last time out. And I don't think he will this time around either. You know, the only danger here for Boots is that he drastically overlooks Chukhadzhian because he's beaten him so easily before, but I don't think he will. I think he'll do a professional job on him, but if he drastically overlooks him, then Chukhadzhian will have more of a chance. But no, Boots is just way too well rounded. Way too well rounded. He can do it all. He's fast hands, slick, you know, great combination puncher, heavy handed, big. He can do it all. And yeah, he puts another school on Karen Chukhadzhian, and hopefully there's either unifications with the other champions at 147, Barrios Stanionis, Brian Norman Jr., or he can move up to 154 and get a dream fight with Terence Crawford. But if not, face the likes of a Sebastian Fundora, a background Murtazaliev, you know, those type of names. Yeah, but he needs to get a move on after this Saturday when he puts a show on for his hometown crowd in the Wells Fargo Centre in Philadelphia. So yeah, there's not much more I can say on that. To be honest, a dreadfully underwhelming main event this Saturday night in Wells Fargo Centre, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as the phenomenal Jaron Boots Ennis will, for some bizarre reason, be rematching Karen Chukhadzhian for the IBF World Welterweight title over 12 rounds. Yeah, let us know what you think in the comments. How kind of disappointed are you that this fight's taking place? What's your prediction? Will there be changes from the first fight? Can Chukhadzhian give a better account of himself? And yeah, just how does Boots end his fair against either the fellow champions at 147 or the champions or the elite fighters at junior middleweight? Let us know what you think in the comments. As always, don't forget, please drop a like on the video if you like what you see, and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the new subscribers I've had to the channel. It means so much to me, and hopefully I can continue to grow by bringing you content that you enjoy and can engage with. So yeah, like, subscribe, follow us over on X, and until next time, speak again and take care.